Imagine with me, if you will, ladies. You're on a date and it's been a while, so you're ready to go out and you put on your new outfit, you get your face beat, your hair done, you're feeling good. The gentleman that you go on a date with is paying for you. Yes. So you sit down at dinner, you're looking at him, he's looking at you. He may or may not have a beard. I don't know what you're into, but just imagine with me. In my mind, he has a beard. Anyway, you guys are having great conversation. And then he asks you this question. What have you done in your single season? What? Huh? Can I get back to you on that one? Ladies, do you really have an answer for this question? What have you done with your single season? I don't know about you, but I think this is something we all need to assess as we enter those moments where we want to be married or we want to be in a relationship, but we may not have anything to really bring to the table. Or maybe we do, and we just haven't realized it. In this episode of Journey Through 30, we'll talk about what will you have done or what will you have to show for your single season. This is Tatiana Green, and you're listening to Journey Through 30. When I talk to women who are married, they tell me all the time, in fact, most of them tell me that they wish they'd done XYZ while they were single. So when I do take these mental notes, I always think about, well, why can't we just take advantage of our single season? Why does it seem like the single season is the one that's the throwaway season or something that you just do to get it over with so you can get the free sex? I mean, marriage, godly marriage, right? So I need us to really look at our single season, whether you're presently single or in a relationship and you're not married yet, and see what it is that you accomplished in that special time in your life when it was just you doing you, exciting things, new things, scary things, learning about yourself, etc., etc. And I want you to be able to answer this question that we asked at the beginning of the episode, not for a man, but ask it for yourself. In fact, I want you to answer that for God. What if God came down, sat on your bed right next to you, and he said, well, what have you been doing with the season I gave you? I would really encourage you to have an answer. Not something that's cookie cutter, like, oh yeah, I just enjoy the Lord and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, did you really? I'll tell you what I did in my single season, which is my current season. Don't get it twisted. And we'll talk about how you, the listener, can take advantage of your time in your single season. And if you're not single, feel free to share this with someone else so that they can be encouraged to pursue whatever it is that they have in their mind to do in their single season. For one, I definitely would say pursuing my passions and purpose was one of the biggest things that I did in my single season, my current season. One of the things that I always loved to do growing up was writing, being creative, scrapbooking, taking photos, etc., etc. All these things pretty much added up to me becoming who I am today. A blogger, social media coordinator, all this fun stuff. And it's just a testament to, the things that we're passionate about as children and we grow up in doing those things. So when you're an adult and you finally enter this whole season of your life where you're just discovering more about yourself in your young adulthood, and maybe in your current season right now, you're just discovering new things about yourself, I would definitely suggest to pursue your passions and your purpose with everything in you, because that's the thing that's going to keep you up at night. That's going to be the thing that's going to give you a sense of like a reason to live. And God gave you that purpose. God gave you those passions. He gave you those talents, those desires. It's wise if we turn those things and submit them back onto him and give him glory with those things. And so we can take full advantage of everything that he's given us, because his gifts are given without repentance. So we have to make sure that we do well with those gifts. So with the gifts that you're given in your single season, and they happen to be in relation to your passion and your purpose, you have all the free will and permission to go pursue those things. You don't have to sit on your hands and be like, well, I'm going to wait till I get married, till I fulfill my purpose. Well, not everybody's purpose is fulfilled after marriage. Make sure you are in line with God's will for your life, and stop looking at everybody else and be like, okay, God, well, what is your purpose for me in the single season? And that's something I learned from a married person, okay? I learned from wives on enjoying the single season, whether it be women who regretted that they didn't take advantage of their time, or that they were telling me there's so much I need to learn still, as an encouragement, not as a criticism, to just really focus on what makes me happy, so that when I talk about my purpose and I'm passionate about it, I won't end up with a mate that will try to quench that fire that's within me. And I'm saying that to say that you don't have to have the exact same things, but you want to be with someone who complements your purpose, who's going to be able to walk with you and support you, who's going to be there and to be of some kind of help to you in some kind of way. They may not understand everything you do. They may not be called to the very thing that you're doing regarding your purpose, but they are supportive. They're there for you. They're going to make sure that you have your needs met so that you can get to where you need to be to fulfill that thing. And that's something that we as women have to make sure that we look at. And that's why it's important to take advantage of this single season and pursue your purpose. Another thing that I really loved to do in my single season was travel. I love to travel. I'm going to make a whole episode about traveling, so I won't be long on this part. But have fun, explore new places, go new places, get your passport. Make sure that is a life goal, because this world is huge. So make sure you go out there and see wherever it is God is leading you to go, wherever you feel like going. I still haven't gone across any ocean, so I definitely need to go to all these other exotic places that I have yet to see, including but not limited to Japan, Australia, Italy, London, Africa, all these other fun places, countries, and continents. All right, so what else is on your list for things that you want to do in your single season? Things that you could say that you accomplished. One of the other things that I could say that I accomplished this year was to publish a book. I published my book, Journey to 30, in 2016, and that's something that I definitely did not expect to do in my single season. But God gave the idea to me a little while back, and I'm so glad that it's done. And I'm in the process of pursuing this new project. And I have a whole decade's worth of content to talk about, because it's a journey through 30. So I'm excited to go into that. Then we have your business and career. Now, single women, we have the stereotype that we're so focused on our work and our careers that we don't have time for a man and all this stuff. But I don't think that's true. I think a lot of us were raised to work hard, and a lot of us have a good work ethic. So we don't want to just sit on our hands and not do anything with these degrees that we went to school for. Or we just have this passion, this drive to solve a problem in the marketplace. And we have this idea for business that no one else has done or done the way that we're thinking. And so we go out there and we're achieving goals. We're securing bags. We're making money. We're changing people's lives. And we're still single. That's not a problem, first of all. But it's a problem if business and career becomes your number one priority in life. It shouldn't be. You should have a healthy life and work balance, and you should have God as your priority in your life, especially if you're a believer. Let's be clear, because you don't want to put anything above God. So if you have a business drive, a passion, and everything like that, and you haven't laid the groundwork yet, you haven't put a business plan together, take your single season to focus on that. You could focus a month or two, or maybe one whole season, on building your business plan, drawing out things, putting a vision board together, calling some people that you may know that work in the industry that you want to work in, anything like that, so you can get started, because you never know when you're going to get married. Another thing I love to talk about on my blog, blissforsingles.com, is doing the work. In their single season, we have to be about the Father's business. As it says in 1 Corinthians 7, we as unmarried people are about the Lord's stuff. But in the process of being about the Lord's stuff and his business, doing God's will, he's going to give us some amazing things to work on ourselves because, like I said in the first episode, God is perfecting us for his glory and his purposes. So we don't even know what's on the other side of this journey. We're just going along for the ride, our hand in his, in faith, knowing that he's preparing us for something bigger than what we can imagine, bigger than our current season. Because in this season, it might be your season of preparation. In this season of your singleness, it might be your season to do what we call the work. The work includes getting to a place where you may have to repent, where you have to heal, where you have to be broken, where you have to come to God and just be like, this is how I feel about being single. Either you hate it, either you're kind of content with it, either you're kind of like, I want to do other things, Lord. Like, be honest with God and help him help you by getting out the way and let him do the work on the inside of you. You can be all happy-go-lucky on the outside if you want to, but God knows your heart. He knows what's going on in the inside. So if you're not happy as a single person, allow God to come in and show you why, to give you a clean up so you can be whole, freed, renewed, restored, and that will show on the outside. If we are to represent true contentment in God and really enjoying the single season, we got to have joy on the inside of us. We got to be rid of all the dirt of the past, all the past resentment, all the bitterness, all the hurt, all the pain from waiting. All those things got to go. And that only comes through our relationship with God as it grows. And that's a beautiful thing to have in your single season. And of course, invest in yourself by getting your education together. If you have to go back to school, go back to school. If you have to get another degree, get that degree. If you have to get a trade or a license, go for it. But if you're not currently learning something in the single season, you got to learn something. Get a new book, do some self-improvement, challenge yourself to read the Bible more, get in some devotionals, do something that's going to challenge you mentally and get you researching, get you studying so you be well-versed and be able to talk about things that are not on TV all the time. These are just some of the things that you can talk about that you've been able to do in your single season. There's tons more, but I think we covered some basics here. So even if you feel like you haven't done half of these things that I listed, do not get down about yourself. You're not less of a person if you haven't accomplished certain things in your life at this point. Every day is a new start to receive God's mercies and to decide to do something new, to live fully and to live unapologetically. And that's one of the reasons why I call my book Journey to 30, A Single Woman's Guide to Living Unapologetically Without Deadlines, because I'm encouraging women, as well as the women in the book, to live unapologetically. We don't want you to feel like the single season is a waiting room or it's not a gift. When Paul says in the Bible in 1 Corinthians 7, again, that we understand that each man has his own gift from God. Each one has this gift. Another has that. And he's referring to singleness being a gift. He's referring to marriage being a gift. And I know sometimes we can get a little frustrated with that when we're in our moments of singleness where we may be lonely or frustrated, or everybody else we know is in a relationship or getting married and we're not there yet. And we're like, well, it just doesn't feel like a gift right now. I'm telling you, you talk to enough married people, you're going to appreciate your gift. So sometimes you just need to take a step back from your problems and how you feel negatively about your current situation and see how other people live the way that you could picture yourself. If you want to be married, talk to some happily married people. Get the real on what it's like to be a wife so you have a better understanding of what you are trying to sign up for. And that's one of the things that we talk about in the book. I talk with Felicia Houston, who is from Anointed Wives Ministry. And she says that she wanted to take her time to learn what it meant to be a wife before she, quote unquote, signed up. And I thought that was excellent advice. And I definitely would share that with anyone especially when I cross over to that to that next stage in life, because I know that God has called me to be a wife. He's preparing me for that. But in the process, I'm learning how to enjoy this single season, even when I don't feel like I'm enjoying my single season. So if you don't have any kids and you don't have a man, congratulations. You have freedom. You better appreciate that freedom, because it won't always be like this. That's what we always say in my church. So if you go on a date and you happen to come across the topic of singleness, how long you've been single, don't be afraid to ask that question and have an answer for it. So, what have you done with your single season? I want you to be able to answer confidently that you were able to pursue your passions, that you grew your relationship with God, that you invested in yourself, that you set up your relationships with your friends and your family and you helped improve them, that you made yourself a better woman because you took time to look at yourself, to evaluate yourself and see what you would bring to the table, how you would be an asset, not to just a man, but an asset to life, and bring glory to God and fulfill his will for your life. Our season of singleness is not something we should just be wasting. We should just throw away. I refuse to believe that. It's not something that we should just cater to. Like, yeah, it's a throwaway season. No, it's not a season to waste. This is the best season for you to do everything it is that you feel like you want to do. If God gave you that idea in this season, well, maybe you should look into pursuing that thing. As long as he's leading you, you should be fine. All right, so if you have any questions about taking advantage of your single season, I have plenty of material on singleness, dating, relationships, and your relationship with God on my blog, blissforsingles.com. And if you want to learn more about living unapologetically, make sure you check out my book, Journey to 30. It's available on Amazon and Kindle, and you can get it at journeyto30book.com. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Journey Through 30. I hope your single season is amazing and filled with promise, purpose, and fun, and lots of growth. I mean, we all need to grow up and mature and do what it is that God calls us to do. I'm your host, Tatiana Green, author of the book Journey to 30. I hope you all have a great week. I'll talk to you later.